Hey guys, this is lesson number 2 for week 7 for the Bridges Grade 1 Math for the week of April 27th through May 1st. Today's objective is add and subtract within 20, demonstrating fluency for addition and subtracting by adding using the relationship between addition and subtraction. Lots of words there. So let's go ahead and unpack what they're trying to say. So you see here we're going to add and we are going to subtract numbers from 0 to 20. Because we're only going to go up to 20. And we are going to work on fluency, just like in reading, where we want you to be fluent, where you're able to read the words in a consistent, even manner. Same thing with math. We are going to want you guys to go ahead and add and subtract math facts within 20 with fluency. So that means that you are doing it not very slow, not super fast, but right in the middle. So again, we're going to work with addition, we're going to work with subtraction, and we are going to find how they have a relationship. And this word relationship means to connect. So how addition and subtraction connect to each other. So now we're going to think about a problem here. Let's go ahead and take a look. So look at this pattern. You see some blocks. And I want you to think about what comes next. So as you take a look at the pattern, starting here, and moving up, what comes next? When you're done looking at that pattern, let's look at these 3 questions. First question, what patterns do you see within these blocks? Second question, what would be the next 3 pictures and what would they look like? So here you have 1 picture, 2 picture, 3 pictures, 4 pictures. What would the next pictures, the next 3 pictures look like? And then on a separate sheet of paper, create your own pattern and share it with somebody else at your house. Ask them the question, what comes next?
In today's lesson, we're going to use what we know about addition and subtraction to learn how addition and subtraction are related using a number tree or a number bond. Addition and subtraction are inverse operations or opposites. For example, for 4 plus 3 equals 7, you will add the 2 parts together to get the total. For subtraction, we would do 7 minus 4 equals 3. For subtraction, you will take 1 part from the total to find the other part. Let's try to create a number bond for this example. I'll count the total number of circles and write them in the total for the number bond. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total circles. Now I'm going to count the 2 parts. There are 2 parts in my picture. 1 part is red and 1 part is blue. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red circles. And the other part is 1, 2, 3 blue circles. What equations could we write? Let's think about addition. 5 red plus 3 blue equals 8 total circles. Or we could think about it as 3 blue plus 5 red equals 8 total circles. For subtraction, we would think about starting with the 8 total, and we could take away the 5 red, and then we would be left with the other part, which is 3 blue circles. Or we could still start with the 8 total and take away the 3 blue circles first, and then we would be left with the other part of 5 red circles.
So let's add a couple more examples to this number bond idea where we have the part total model. So here we have a problem where we have 4 pumpkins and it looks like we have 3 squash, green squash, and they give you the number bond right here. So we have a total of 7 vegetables, but we have 4 specific pumpkins and we have 3 specific squash. So this is where we get the part plus the part equals the whole. So the part of 4 pumpkins plus the part of 3 squash gives us our whole of 7. We want to use this model here, this triangular model, to help us understand that part total. So you have one part, you have a second part, that creates the total. So our first part is going to be the number 3, which will be the 3 green squash. The second part is going to be the 4, which is the 4 orange pumpkin. And if we put them together, add them together, it's going to equal 7 total. Notice I did not tell you which way to go. You could do 3 plus 4, or you can do 4 plus 3. They both add up to the total of 7. So out of this part whole model, you can get 4 equations. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 4 plus 3 equals 7. And then the subtraction portion also can come from this, where if we have a whole number of 7, I could take 3 away from that to equal 4. Or I could start with 7, take 4 away from that, and equal 3. Now in your work, you're going to see a different way that this is shown. And I want to give you quick examples here so that you understand what you're looking at. So in this example, we're looking at not a part whole model, but we're looking at an array model here. So this whole array is the total. And in the array, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. Notice there are different colored squares. So we have a total of 6 squares, and we can write something that looks like this. 3 red squares plus 3 blue squares equals a total of 6 squares. We're still talking about the part total model, but in a different way. Here's one part 3, here's one part 3, and here's our whole 6. We can also do this with subtraction. So again, I have my total of 6 squares, but in this way, we are actually subtracting. I have a total of 6 squares, and I'm going to take away the blue ones. So I'm going to take away 1 blue, 2 blues, 3 blues, 4 blues. So how many are not blue would be 2. So I start with my whole, and I take away part of it, which are the 4 blue squares, and I'm left with 2 non-blue squares. So now let's try it. So in your Bridges packet with your papers, you'll have these 2 pages, equations and number words. The first thing you want to work on is row 1, right here. Complete that. The next one will be problem 2, again, row 1. Complete that. And then on the second page, you're going to complete these 3 problems, not the first one because it's done for you. So you're doing the first row of page 1, the second row of problem 2 on page 1, and on page 2, the middle 3 problems. Now, the question is, can you challenge yourself for problem number 1 and write an addition and a subtraction problem for each of those? So when you're done doing the basic work here, see if you can challenge yourself. All right, once you've tried it, you've looked over our notes, now it's time to see and show us what you know. So here's the assessment we want you to look at. And it's on the exact same pages that we've done before. We're just going to shift our attention now to the second row in problem 1, to the second row in problem 2, and to the final 2 problems on page 2, problem 3. When you're done, same thing. Can you challenge yourself for problem number 1 to write an addition and subtraction problem? So guys, that's it for looking at adding and subtracting with fluency up to the number 20. Please take a look at your teacher's Schoology page. Good luck with your math. Ask your teacher for help when you have your class meeting times or office hours. And always keep practicing that math.